Good morning, Moms and Master Books. Hope you're having a good week. I know a lot of you have started back this week, and some of you have had good starts, and some of you have had rough starts. But we are praying for your family either way, that the Lord will continue to bless what you're doing. It's an important work. So today's an exciting day because I get to talk about a sneak preview of our 2019 spring catalog, and there are some really cool things that we're expecting to see. So we're going to talk about that. Before I do, let me ask if you are watching this, and even if you're just going to be watching a replay, we'll announce one person that we've chosen to do a point drop to, where we'll go into your account and add 2,500 reward points. That's $25 worth of reward points to your account. So be sure to comment. Let us know you're here. If you're excited about something, if you have a question, we go back through and look at your feedback. We try to answer every question that comes up, at least for the next day or so. So be sure to comment so you can have a chance to have 2,500 reward points added to your account. All right, so the 2019 catalog, of course, I love the picture on the front. Let's see. A couple things. I'm just going to walk through it kind of briefly, each of the pages. This year, we've added our Faith Builder Guarantee to the front inside cover. If you're not familiar with the Faith Builder Guarantee, so for over 40 years, Master Books message, if you will, has been, our mission statement is ink on paper to touch eternity. And everything that we do, we look at it and say, does this project have the possibility of touching eternity so that lives will be changed, faith will be strengthened, people will receive hope and encouragement, and the rewards of that will move on into eternity? Well, we believe that with Master Books curriculum, everything that we produce is designed to point to the truth of God's Word and the Creator and our purpose and the hope of Jesus Christ. We believe that so strongly that we give a Faith Builder Guarantee that if you buy a Master Books curriculum product and the faith of your child doesn't grow, all you have to do is contact us and let us know, and we'll be happy to refund your money. Now, we do want you to go through the whole course, and we don't give a refund if the course didn't necessarily work for you. This is a Faith Builder Guarantee. And so far, we haven't had to give a guarantee. We have so many testimonies of families who have started using Master Books curriculum. Their faith has grown. Dad's faith has grown. Grandparents' faith has grown. As a family, they've begun to grow and become more purposed and intentioned about biblical authority, the truth of God's Word, excited about the hope that they have in Jesus Christ. So Faith Builder Guarantee is added now to the inside of the catalog. Master Books and Action Shots, we encourage you. We love to see your family with pictures of the curriculum, and we feature that as an ads if you'd like. We love to love on your kids, and even if you're not comfortable having the pictures promoted outside of the Moms and Master Books group, just being able to have a bunch of people love on your kids and celebrate the homeschool wins and celebrate the seasons, I think is a valuable part of this group. Okay. So of course we have the overview. I love this picture. This picture, Master Books jumping out of the box. Kids don't belong in boxes. Kids are individuals, and we need to tailor and create individual solutions for our kids. And Master Books, part of what we love to do is give you the tools to be able to create and produce materials for your kids. Scoot over a bit. So this catalog, I'm so excited about the way this catalog looks, by the way. This catalog is actually being produced on a really nice matte finish. I think we're doing about 75 to 100,000 in the first print of this, which is super exciting that we're going to be able to get that many of them out. So just really excited. All right, if you couldn't tell. our best sellers this year. So we do have a feature. If you're curious about what other homeschool families are buying, we have a list of our best sellers: Math Lessons First, Language Lessons, My Story, God's Design Science, America's Story, Writing Strands. Those may not come as a surprise, but we do give those. New releases, I think there's 12 listed here. We have like 13 or 14 new releases this year of just homeschool curriculum. Our team is working so hard to get product out as quickly as possible. And I know even with Kristen, my wife, she's writing Language Lessons 5. I'm lucky to see very much of her right now because she's got her nose to the plow on that. All right. Of course, something we did a couple years ago, thanks to one of the Moms of Master Books, one of the moderator, Carrie Kidwell, actually put together a scope and sequence for us. And we thought, wow, that's a great idea. That would really help people. And so we continue to use the scope and sequence for if you have a student that should be in third grade. These are approximates because we believe, grade ranges are a good starting place, but not to make that the law. So if your student should be doing catching up a little bit or working ahead, it's not a problem. But these are kind of approximates. So we have the scope and sequence for the elementary student and the scope and sequence for junior high and high school. What's awesome, if you have a couple catalogs back, you'll notice there wasn't as much color in here. We've been filling this thing in at a very rapid rate each year, and we have multiple options. Like for science in high school, your high schooler has so many options to choose from: the new biology, the new chemistry, pre-med, astronomy, let's see, the survey of science and history, the life science origins course. I mean, there are so many options for science alone this year just for a high school student. I'm talking fast because I'm excited. So, okay. Something we're bringing back is a basic 4 core subject sets. So a lot of you in the group, or maybe when you started out, were kind of like, well, I have what would be a third grader. I really don't know where to start. What we're doing is we've got a basic 4 set. Basic 4 would be math, language, history, and science. The top selling products, or the most recommended that we would have for each grade level. And you'd be able to go, I have a 4th grader, I'm going to buy the 4th grade set. The retail price on that would be $269, but the list price or sale price at masterbooks.com is $182. So I'm going to get my basic 4 subjects for $182. There's 7 books included in that, everything I need for the basic 4 subjects. Now, the new website, this is something else that's happening that's really exciting, is the new website will have a place for related products. And so what you'll be able to actually do with that is go in and click so if I choose basic 4, we may have an elective like elementary apologetics, and so you could click on that to add it. So it'd be real easy if you're not interested in doing a lot of mixing and matching and building and stuff like that, and you just want to go with something very basic. We have for grades 1 through 10 a 4 subject set now, and the prices, like if you're in 2nd grade, because 2nd grade only has 1 book per subject, $116 for a 2nd grader to have all core subjects: math lessons for a living education, the best math in homeschooling; language lessons for a living education, by far the best language curriculum; My Story, which is an incredible experience for kids; and then God's Design for Life, the beginner set. You can't beat that level. So I'm so excited about it because there isn't one of these that I wouldn't be proud to give to a family and say, this is what I would recommend for the homeschooling experience. So excited by this. We love to mix and match and build and customize to the student. Every student is an individual. But if you've been part of this group for any amount of time, parents tend to get confused, especially new families. So to have the opportunity to say, go to shop by grade, and at the grade you can pick one of one of these basic 4 sets. And then as a family, you can add what works for you. You can add the new art curriculum. You could add the elementary apologetics. You could add a Bible curriculum. There's just a lot of options you can do to thicken it up, but at least you know the core and the essentials are covered. Okay. Of course, the biblical beginnings for preschool, that course remains the same. Simply K is our new kindergarten program written by Carrie Bailey. It's a very developmental approach to kindergarten. It prepares them well to go into foundation phonics. It's going to give them social skills like manners and certain things like that you would want the student to be prepared for beginning the school process. We have, you can barely see it, Dinosaurs and Fun Pad. This is actually, it's a dry erase board book with phonics, the letters in it, and each of these has a dinosaur in it, and the letter begins with a dinosaur name. We used to sell a ton of these. They had the marker included in it, and it's a real hassle to bring those in, you know, the process of that. And most families either have a dry erase marker or could easily get one. So this book, your kids, if you have a kid that loves dinosaurs, wants to practice, what we did is we removed the pen, we made it into a carry handle, and this book opens up and all the letters can be practiced with this dinosaur book. So Dinosaur Fun, I think that's going to become one of our better sellers. We used to sell a ton of it. It was just so hard to produce, and now it's much easier. That's coming, I think it should be March. Those will be in stock. And of course, I'll be doing a lot more videos on this. Let me give everybody just a warning. This is the sneak peek, right? So you're going to get a lot more information on these products. We're going to make sure everybody has a way to get a catalog. So don't worry about that. So this is just kind of the sneak peek. It's the tease. Also, for anybody who's joining, be sure to let us know you're here. Comment. Let me know what products you're excited about. If you have any questions, for a chance to have 2,500 reward points dropped into your Masterbooks account. Okay. Math lessons for a living education. I gotta say, these pictures, we have the Masters Books audience has the best looking, most adorable kids in the homeschool industry, hands down. And we love it when you post pictures because we're always on the lookout for pictures that we can add to marketing and use. And we feel like the families that use Master Books and that are part of this tribe are so much a part of what we do. We wanted to include a lot of them in the catalog. So Math Lessons for a Living Education. This book, Math K, is a new product that will be coming out this year. We have a lot of kindergartners that want to, or families with kindergartners that want to do a math curriculum. They'll start them in Math 1, but it can be a struggle if a student doesn't have the stamina, doesn't have the motor skills, that type of thing. Math K is just designed to help that family. It'll give that student begin building stamina, the motor skills, those type of things. Angela is doing this, and I believe this may be a co-project with Carrie Bailey, who is doing our the development of kindergarten. So it's a very integrated approach with our kindergarten program, and then we'll launch them well into the 2nd grade. So, woohoo. Of course, Principles of Mathematics, our junior high math solution, one of a kind, worldview math, incredible. Of course, nice Master Books and action shot here. Elementary algebra and geometry, these are top, very highly acclaimed algebra and geometry courses for high school. We've talked a lot about it in the past, but there will be a lot more discussion. Language lessons for a living education. This year, we actually will probably even we may have 6th grade done by the end of this year. But we have 2nd grade, 3rd grade are available now. 4th grade is in design and level 4 is in design being laid out in the final stages now. So that should be available within the next few weeks, hopefully. The digital will definitely be available in the next few weeks. And then level 5, my wife, Kristen, who's writing this series, I don't see very much of her anymore because she's working her tail off to get this product available for as many families as possible. So if you follow Homeschool on Rebecca, you may notice this is her daughter, an image that she had posted that I just love the image, the feel of this catalog. So can you tell? I've said love, excited probably many times. Foundation Phonics. Love the picture. Foundation Phonics is now available in color. And so we have samples of the color product. Of course, basic language skills, which is our grade 1 language, will be later, hopefully later this year, will be turned into level 1 language lessons for living education. And the elementary Bible and English grammar, which is like a grade 6 language arts, is going to become our grade 6 language arts for, or language for a living education. So, okay. Writing Strands, that series is complete with Teaching Companion. I love Writing Strands for many reasons. Jensen's Language, another best-selling curriculum, very good for high school. We have all of our, the Stovall American and World Literature. There's American Literature, World Literature, and British Literature. My Story 1 and 2, those have been just fantastic products. Families have used those for a lot more than first or second grade. They've used those a lot for multi levels, and we've had that's number, I think, 3rd best-selling curriculum series we have. So excited by those. The America Story is complete now. We've been doing revisions on that. Some of the first editions that we had. So when we got America Story, it had already been in print with another publisher. Then we acquired it, and we have what'd you say? We have the first publication of it. There were some friction points that we found, and so we've gone through and tried to remove as many friction points as possible to make it better. But this is just one of a kind history, and I think it's going to become even more popular. World Story, we have level 3. The student book is all laid out and about ready to go to print. The teacher guide is being written right now by Miss Angela and the editors, and we're hoping to have this. I think everything is supposed to be in-house and being laid out by the end of July, or end of January. I need it way before July if Angela is listening. I would love to have this as we go into the convention season. Let's see, Applied History. The Elementary Geography and Cultures is one of our best-selling books. I'm sure there's a number of people who are watching who've done this, but this course is just exceptional for upper elementary. We've even heard of people using it for junior high and whatnot. Big Book, or Elementary World History, using the Big Book of History, the only course I've authored, but I'm partial to it because it was written for people like me who have very short attention spans but need to know a lot of information. And of course, biographies and Timeline of the Revolution, a lot of families really enjoy using that in the upper elementary. For American and World History, we have Stovall's American History with the new teacher guide. We have World History. It doesn't have the new teacher guide yet, but I do believe that that is about to go under contract to have that rewritten. And we've let go of the British history just because there wasn't as much interest in it, and it didn't have as much potential for us in that area. So, okay. Civics and the Constitution. This is a DVD-based Constitution course, perfect for your civics course. You're going to be excited by this. It's all based on a very creation-based perspective and looking at the Constitution. And I love the DVDs make it exceptional to be able to hear the lectures and do the course. So excited by that. We also have the Intro to Economics. So typically you would be able to do this, and this would be 1 year of history, one semester here, one semester there. Science starters for elementary students. We have the God's Design series, which we brought into the Master Books edition. We've done a number of videos on that, but it has been a great seller for us there. We have, excited on this, Adventures in Creation. It's an elementary science curriculum written. This is level 1, which would be kind of it could be used for K through 3rd. There will be a level 1, 2, I know a kindergarten, and I think a 3. So that is going to be Master Books. It's very creation-based, very hands-on study. There's some story-based in it, and I think the approach of this is almost like the story is a kind of a historical account, historical fiction, if you will, where Adam and Eve are talking with their children, explaining to them God's design in creation from a first-hand account. And so that'll be a really fun science. Of course, elementary science, soil, sea, and sky. Elementary anatomy, which is very popular selling. The new elementary zoology. This is one of our best-selling courses. The book that it was the core or the spine of that went out of print, which was very sad. But through an act of God, we acquired God's Big Book of Animals. And this book is so exciting. I'm going to show you a lot more on it as soon as I have a copy of it. And we've added how many animals were on the ark. The reason being animal kinds is so important when you're talking about zoology, to understand evolution and that kinds don't change, right? A dog is always a dog, even though there's different variations of the dog. So all of this done from a very creation-based perspective. And when you see God's Big Book of Animals, I think you're just going to be blown away. This course is perfect for grades 3 through 6. It's typically for a 3rd grader, it might be a little bit advanced, but you could certainly do it with a multi-level family. You could pick one science like this and then customize it a little bit for the family. So really excited to have that back in the fold. Elements of faith. So we had a devotional that was written. I talked about this in the past, but we had a devotional that was written on the periodic table, and it's just ingenious. But it really helps you start to understand the periodic table. Well, what we finally have, the second half is in-house. It's being laid out, ready to go to print. It's going, the color coding of the periodic table in this whole book is going to match the master's class chemistry that we have. And so this could be used in junior high as a pre-chemistry course. I think that's brilliant. And as a marketing team, we came up with the idea of, wouldn't it be cool? People do pre-algebra to prepare their student for algebra. Chemistry is extremely intimidating for a lot of families. Chemistry was an intimidating subject for me. How awesome would it be to have a pre-chemistry course that helped the student become very familiar and comfortable with the periodic table of elements? Because the master's class chemistry is completely designed, as long as you understand how the periodic table works, you can get chemistry, because everything is basically made up of this, what we see here. So if you want to prepare your student for chemistry, this pre-chemistry course, or if you feel maybe your student isn't completely ready for the chemistry in high school, I would even look at doing the Elements of Faith as a half credit, as a precursor to the chemistry course. That's free. Okay. What's free is that my advice. Okay. Okay. The junior high science, we have Intro to Astronomy, Awesome Science, Historical Geology, which is based on the DVD set, Applied Engineering. This is one of my favorite courses. It looks at biomimicry, which is looking at nature and God's design in nature, to look at technology that's being created right now and everything that is being like there's so much being done just by looking at God's design in nature. So great course for grades 7 through 9. We do it as an applied, it would be like an applied science for a 9th grader. But definitely if you have a very hands-on physical kid who would be easily overwhelmed by a thick textbook, right there's perfect. Intro to Anatomy Physiology 1, Intro to Anatomy Physiology 2. There's one more going to be coming out in this series. I think we're waiting on some additional, but this series will be 6 books. It's written by Dr. Tommy Mitchell and at Answers in Genesis, and it is a great, it would be a junior high course. We're even using it, I believe, as a high school level as an elective, because it really is, it's intense. There's a lot in it, but it's a great course. My son is loving it right now. General Science 1 and 2, these can be done in any order, but if you have a student that's interested in astronomy and weather, oceans, minerals, any type of earth. Now, these don't have labs, but they're more of a general science approach, and every quarter, every 9 weeks, the student is doing a different book. So it's not one whole year of astronomy, it's 9 weeks of astronomy, and then we move to weather, then we move to oceans, and we move to minerals. So for a 7th and 8th grade solution, this is great. If you have 2 students that you would want to do general science with, you could have one doing weather one quarter, one doing astronomy the same quarter. So the students could actually use the books, one set of books. So the Wonders of Creation series, I think I forget the number. It's over 100,000 of these books that we've sold and continue to sell at a rapid rate. Let's see. Life Science and Origins, Scientific Theory. This course, I have 3 students. This is actually my son. I needed a picture for the catalog, and he's a good-looking kid. So I said, hey, I'm gonna make you sit at the table and take a picture of you. So I have my own master books and action shot here. If you have a high school student, we need more pictures of high school students. So don't be afraid to start posting some master books in action of your high schooler, okay? We love seeing, we love all the adorable kids, but we also love seeing the high school students in action as well. Anyways, okay, Life Science Origins and Scientific Theory. I have 3 kids that have taken that course. My 2 daughters that have graduated have both said that was their favorite high school course. My son is loving that, and I think I just think it's an awesome course to prepare your student for a worldview that the whole evolutionary goo to you, man is an accident, survival of the fittest is nonsense. But it's done from such a way that the student actually looks at the evidence and has to draw their own conclusion. So it's not just, this is what we believe, you should believe it too. It's done in such a way that it was designed to sell to public schools. So, awesome course to consider. It would be a life science course on a transcript, 1 credit. Biology is coming out. That should be available in the spring, and that is the master's class science. This would be the biology for 9th grade. We have the chemistry for 10th grade. We're working on a little bit better or cheaper of a lab solution for the chemistry. For biology, and I mentioned this in the past, but I'm going to tell you in the future, what we're going to have on the biology is actually a lab book. We bought a very expensive microscope with a special camera and lighting, and we're taking pictures of every one of the experiments in this. So if you didn't want to invest in an expensive microscope, but you still wanted to participate in the lab, you'd actually be able to look in the book and see. And the detail of this microscope is incredible. So I'm excited when that comes out. I don't have the details of all that, but that'll be in the next probably in the next catalog or later this year, there will be announcements on that as well. Okay. If you haven't, be sure to comment, okay? We're going to do a point drop, 2,500 points put into somebody's account. Probably tomorrow morning, we'll make an announcement of whose account got 2,500 reward points. That's $25 worth of purchasing power at masterbooks.com. Survey of Astronomy. We sell a lot of this course. It is a great course, non-labs based course, although you could add a lab of observational lab to that if you wanted to. I know for some states that are looking for non-lab science, astronomy would be great on a transcript, 1 credit. Survey of Science and Concepts, advanced pre-med. A lot of families use this. It's not really as advanced, long story, but we used to have pre-med, basic pre-med, advanced pre-med. The basic pre-med we wrapped into the advanced, and we kept the name because it was everywhere. But a lot of families will use this for biology. It's great if you have somebody who's interested maybe in the nursing field or going to med school, even veterinary medicine or animal husbandry, that type of thing. Okay. Electives, some exciting electives coming. We have More Than Words. Rebecca Spooner at Homeschool is working on doing a living faith Bible curriculum. It's really not just Bible stories and Bible, what would you say, illustrations. It's how do we apply this to our daily life. And so level 1 is in-house being laid out right now, and level 2 I know she's working on. And I think that I know we have a lot of her audience as part of this group as well. I think that's going to be very well received and enjoyed. It's very Charlotte Mason-y approach and can be easily brought in. Like if you're doing the basic core of subjects and you wanted to add an elective of Bible, then this would be perfect to add. Okay, living art lessons. So this is cool. Angela Odell, who is the author of Math Lessons for a Living Education, America's Story, and World Story, her daughter had an art curriculum that was being published by another publisher. She now has the rights back to that, and we are fortunate enough to have it. This basically teaches about the 7 elements of art. It's perfect for, we're leveling it off at an elementary, upper elementary elective, but it would be to teach about the 7 elements: line, shapes, colors, while observing artwork in nature all around you. So that probably summer. If you're seeing it, it says spring, but that's an edit that needs to be made. This is not in the final stages. By next Monday, most likely, the digital copy of this will be available for everybody in the group. But the art for next year, for definitely, if you want an elective and you do the 4 core or you choose your own, however you choose, this would be a great Bible elective and a great art elective, which would give you 6 courses in a very incredible faith-based, engaging, and fun school year. But we also have elementary apologetics. So that is based on the Answers for Kids series, and that could be added as an elective as well. For junior high and even, I would say, 9th grade for sure, Introduction to Logic course. Man, we are so stoked about that. I think that that's going to be fantastic in the next year or two. We're in the launch phase of it, so there isn't a lot of information. But when you see it in the concepts and the way it's laid out, I think you're really going to like it. Christian history, biographies of faith. Comparative religions, practical apologetics for the real world, one of my highest recommends. I think your kids should have a logic course as an elective. I think they should have comparative religions as an elective for sure. And I don't think it would hurt them at all to have apologetics in action, to talk about how do we know the Bible is true and demolishing biblical strongholds, contradictions, supposed contradictions that people will use to say the Bible isn't true. I think that that would equip them very well. We have the Christian heritage. This could be used as history or an elective. Worldviews in conflict, I recommend for a lot of seniors and 11th graders who are preparing to go to college, especially where they're going to be presented with secular humanistic worldviews, atheistic worldviews, to understand that a lot of the the people that they'll be promoting the philosophies, Karl Marx, Mark Twain, different people like that, what was their worldview? What was happening, and why is it so damaging to our culture? Why are we seeing an erupting or an erosion of our culture and the values? Biblical archaeology, if your student is science-minded, loves history, loves digging in the dirt, we have a lot of students that really enjoy this course. It's no joke. It's a tough course because the topics that it's covering, the timelines and the people. But I know Desiree Roderick, who is a moderator in the group, has one of these books, and she was commenting this week about how much she's enjoying the concepts in these books. Just begin to blow your mind, and you start to say, oh my goodness, the Bible is so true. It's just based on worldview. It's just based on what we see. Okay, history of religious liberty. A couple years ago, when we had some different things going on in the Supreme Court, it's just a good understanding for students to understand the importance of religious liberty and what that means, and being careful when the pendulum swings. History of the world, that uses two books. Let's see, Taking the World for Jesus and Adventures in Missionary Heroism. If you have a student that likes to read, I think these would be a fantastic book. Great Christian classics. We've had our daughters taking this. There's a lot of reading, but they really enjoy the concepts. And of course, the Intro to Biblical Greek. Adam's Chart continues to be one of our best sellers, is an awesome product. And then we have a page for our dinosaur resources, because we have a lot of kids who love dinosaurs, but dinosaurs are those one thing that are a sticky point when it comes to prehistoric versus biblical history. And we believe that we have some of the top minds in creation science, PhDs, scientists, theologians, who have helped develop some incredible materials that if you have questions about dinosaurs and I think there was a post yesterday, it was about what about dinosaurs going extinct, and there are so many great answers in these resources, and helping our kids understand that dinosaurs most likely were dragons, and there are dragon legends all over the world, that dinosaurs, it's not that absurd that we see what we see in the geological record, and when it's viewed from a biblical catastrophe called the flood of Noah. So, okay. I think the next few pages are still works in progress. Okay, are you ready? This is a big one. Again, make sure you comment and tell me how awesome this next one is, so you can have a chance to win 2,500 points. So, Anna, who is a moderator here and helps us with the ticket system, she was influential in helping us get morning baskets. And I didn't use all the recommendations because I knew a couple of things that we had, but I do credit her with the morning basket idea that Master Books has. And the feedback we've gotten is so incredible. Well, we have a warehouse of, I think it's over 600 SKUs of books that New Leaf Publishing Group, our parent company, and Master Books and Attic Books has published over the last 40 years. So why not add those to morning baskets? I love the concept, and it just seems to really be producing faith. So here's what I got permission to do this year, and you'll see a lot more on this. We'll talk a lot more about it, but we have an incredible family morning basket. In the family morning basket, there's 17 books that you would get. all of the character building, the 9 fruits of the Spirit. So you could use those as a devotional. You could use those as character studies. Some people use these as small groups for ladies groups or men's groups. They'll actually use these as kind of a guidebook to work through the 9 fruits of the Spirit. So you're going to get all 9 of those, which would be the character building. The contemporary social issues, we're going to include the One Blood for Kids, because racism continues to be a topic, a cultural and social issue, and I think this is a great way to educate our kids about that topic. We're going to add a book, G.I. Joe and Lily, which is covering patriotism. If you're familiar with the Oak Ridge Boys, Joe Bonzel wrote this book. The foreword is by Barbara Bush. It's an incredible story of, I think it's a World War II patriot, and him and his marriage and his wife and how she got involved in the effort. And just, it's a very touching story, but it's very well done and engaging. So that's the patriotism. History, we're including a book called Titanic Warning. And what this does is it shows the different captains at the catastrophe of the Titanic, and it compares them to what we see in the church, where instead of engaging the situation, one turned and went away because they were afraid it was going to cause their demise. Another one of the captains didn't hurry to the rescue, and they were late, and many people suffered. Well, in the church, we have major issues going on in our culture, and this is a challenge. Through history, it teaches this is what was happening throughout this story, but as Christians and believers, we also have to be careful to know what kind of captain and what kind of leadership we're providing. So that'd be a great read aloud, historical, but also character building as well. And this book has been available for quite a while. There's a Titanic museum experience close to Branson. I think there's some others around the country. And this book has been sold there. And I thought, man, this would just be great for our market. For apologetics, we're including quick answers to tough questions and how the Bible works. So some great ways to incorporate some apologetics. And then for nature animal studies, we're including The Marvels of Creation by Buddy Davis, and Answers in Genesis. I think there's sea creatures, mammals, and breathtaking birds. So all 17 of these books, the retail value of that, if you were to go to the store and buy it, would be $142. The sale price when you buy it from masterbooks.com will be $69.99. So I was able to convince them, could we do it at 50% off for our audience, which is like the typical wholesale pricing. So these 17 books for your family morning basket, what you would have for all year. But we know that some of you have younger students, maybe you have certain interests. And so we're starting to build some a la carte bundles. And in the new cart, when you go in, now these aren't online yet, so they're coming, okay? But when it gets in, what you'll be able to do is you'll go to Family Morning Basket, you'll see it. And if you think, well, I have a kid who loves dinosaurs, what you'll be able to do is check that box, and you can add 4 of our best-selling dinosaur books for, it's $51.77. You could add that to the morning basket. We have some early readers like Noah's Ark for Kids, Remarkable Rescue, When I See a Rainbow, My Creation Bible, which would be a great reader. And you could add those 4 books for $29. We have the Big Thoughts for Thinkers and God is Really, Really Real. You could add those 4 books for $27. Or if you have a teen who enjoys reading teen fiction, we have a creation-based kind of a thriller type series that has been available for a number of years. We just released the last book maybe 2 years ago. So you could add a teen fiction, 4 teen fiction books for $27. So if you had the family basket that your whole family could get character building and history and application and apologetics, but you could also tailor it to a younger student or to an older student. So, and if you have, say you've already bought one of these, maybe in a flash sale or in a special, the price of this is enough that it would be awesome just to get an extra one to hand to a friend, because you're not going to find a better price on these 14 books or 17 books than what we have it in the morning basket. So I'm really excited by it because I think that the the morning basket is one of those things I never would have expected as a way to be able to offer some of these titles that most homeschool families wouldn't necessarily see, like Titanic Warring or G.I. Joe and Lily, but have the opportunity or the potential to really impact our children and our own lives. So kind of cool. Of course, we're continuing to do the Creative Bundle. Pick any 3 or more subject sets. We bumped the discount up to 30% off. If you spend over $75, it's free shipping, and you earn reward points on every masterbooks.com purchase you make. If you refer a friend and they use your link, you can gain 10% worth of reward points on their first purchase and 2% for every purchase they make after that. And then what we've added, because we're doing it on a nicer paper with a matte finish, is a wish list at the back, so you can keep your notes and anything that you're interested in purchasing. So that's the sneak peek of the 2019 Master Books catalog. If you can't tell, I'm very excited about it. I love the pictures. I love the products that we have. So many of the products that, the growing pains of launching some new products, those products now are pretty stable. Math Lessons for a Living Education. There's been a lot of effort gone through this last year to really bring about the final changes to stabilize that. I think adding the kindergarten is important. Our science curriculums are, with the addition of God's Design at the front end, and then the master's class series being added, which is lab-based and legitimate science, but it's done from a very biblical creation worldview, hands-on application base that kids are really going to resonate with. And if I could say something else about the science, the entire course is not that insane. It's not a book that's this thick. They're doable, 180 days of doable science. So excited by that. And then once the new website, as we get that done, the team has really been working to get the design and the layout to continue to improve that and make it so that it continues to be easier for you when you get there to find new products, to customize and build grade levels, to have access to resources. So that's on the horizon. And then we also, I posted about your greatest concerns, and the greatest concerns that a lot of families have, that fear that they're not doing enough. And Master Books is so far outside the bounds that sometimes that even makes us more concerned, right? As a parent, well, my kid's only doing 20 minutes a day, and they used to feel, we were sitting there an hour doing math. They were tears and pain. So that's the way school should look. We have a hard time when they're begging us to do school on their day off, or doing it in 20 minutes and doing multiple lessons. So what we really want to do is help engage homeschoolers that have a few more years of experience, who know what the outcome looks like, and get their input. We want to develop some tools that'll make it easier for you as a family to kind of keep a permanent record and a cumulative record, so that if any time somebody does question your education, especially if you're using Master Books, you'll be able to pull that out and show them, these are the courses we did, these are the grades they had, these were my assessments, their strengths, their weaknesses, those types of things that will make it very easy for you to keep a permanent record for your student. So those types of things are going to be coming in 2019. We're doing 22 shows, I think. And so we're excited to get out on the road and to meet some of you. I know some of you are farther than a drive away, and we won't necessarily see you. But so what we got to do is just pick a show and have you fly in and visit us at those shows. It's a justifiable expense. I think one of the best. I go to one show a year, and it's the Nashville Teach Them Diligently show in Nashville. I think it's one of the best shows in homeschooling because their worldview matches ours. They are creation, biblical worldview promoters, and so it's a very Christian audience that's there. I think it was over 10,000. I thought it was close to 15,000 homeschoolers. It's done at the Grand Ole Opry Center, which is an incredible complex, and there are just so many vendors, and it's such an incredible experience. So if your family's looking for a vacation, I'd recommend that one. I believe we're going to have a couple moderators there. I think Anna's going to be there with us, and Jessica is going to be there with us at that show. Kristen's there. I'm there. We have all of our product there. Now, we do that at a number of shows, but that show is because there's such a large group of people to talk to and so many products to see, I make it a point to be sure I'm at that show. And there's so much to do in Nashville, so if I haven't convinced you of that. Okay, so I think that's it for today. On Thursday, I'm going to be doing teaching tips on helping our shy children overcome their shyness. Yes, helping shy children, or helping our kids come out a little bit, helping socialize them. My 2 cents on the topic. And I have 5 that I have launched alongside Kristen, and I think that they do a remarkable job of being social. But I do want my kids to be a little weird. I don't want them to fit into culture. So I don't mind my kids being weird homeschoolers. I don't even mind if from time to time they may be a little bit of offensive when it comes to certain issues and topics that don't fit their worldview, as long as they are operating from a point of love. And so we'll talk a lot more about that on Thursday at 11 o'clock Central Standard Time. Love to have you there as well and be part of that discussion. But we just want you to know that we are so excited to be part of this group, and your testimonies, your pictures of your master books and action shots, your questions, your feedback is just so important to what we're doing. And I can't tell you, being married to an author who's spending a lot of hours right now developing, when we see a picture of one of your kiddos doing language lessons for a living education, and it's just clicking and they're enjoying it, and you're beginning to enjoy homeschool again, and you're beginning to feel like, I got this, that is such good encouragement for our authors and for our designers and our editors. They're all watching. We have editors, designers, and authors in this group. And when they see pictures of your kids and your family, it's like, it's just such motivation for them and the product that we're turning out. So you're a huge part. This group is a huge part of what Master Books is doing and going to continue to do. All right. Well, God bless you guys. Have a fantastic week. And be sure to join us on Thursday. All right. God bless. Bye-bye.